Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the English Learning Podcast channel. I'm James, and today we have something really special. We are going to talk about friends. Yes, friends, but not just any friends. The kind of friends that make your life brighter, funnier, and sometimes even a little crazy. Amelia, my amazing co-host, is here with me. Amelia, how are you feeling about today's topic?
Oh, James, I'm so excited. Hi, everyone. I'm Amelia. Friends are like treasures. Sometimes we forget how important they are, but talking about them in English can make our conversations richer and more fun. And let's be honest, sometimes it's hard to find the right words in English. That's why today we're going to take it slow and step by step so you can tell your stories about friends with emotion and clarity.
Exactly. And let me start with a little suspense. Imagine this. One day, you're walking in the park, and suddenly you see your best friend after many years. Your heart skips a beat. Your mind races. You want to run, shout, hug. But how do you say all of that in English? How do you tell someone this story and make it feel alive?
Oh, yes, that feeling. And that's what today is all about. We're going to explore how to talk about our friends in English, how to describe them, how to share memories, how to explain why they are special to us. And we'll practice all of this together.
So, let's start with something simple. When we talk about friends, we often describe them first. For example, you might say, "My best friend is kind," or "My friend is very funny." Amelia, can you give a simple example for our learners?
Sure. Let's say my friend Sarah. I might say, Sarah is very cheerful. She always smiles and makes everyone happy. She loves telling jokes, and she listens to me when I'm sad. See, James, that's simple, but it gives a clear picture of Sarah.
Perfect. And the key here is to use small, simple words. Words like kind, funny, helpful, crazy, smart. These are easy, but they let your listener imagine your friend.
Yes, and another trick is to show, not just tell. For example, instead of just saying, Sarah is kind, you can say, one time, Sarah helped me carry my heavy bag when it was raining. She didn't even complain. See, that's much more vivid and feels like a story.
Absolutely. And here's a question for our listeners. Think about your best friend right now. What makes them special? Can you describe one moment that shows their personality? Don't worry if your English isn't perfect. We'll help you.
Let's practice together. I'll ask, and James will answer, and then listeners can repeat after us. James, tell me about a fun moment with your friend.
Okay. One day, my friend and I decided to bake a cake. We had never baked before. We mixed the flour, sugar, and eggs, but we forgot the baking powder. The cake didn't rise. It was flat, like a pancake. But we laughed so much we didn't care. That's my friend, always turning mistakes into fun moments.
Oh, James, that's such a great story. And listeners, you see how he used simple words and small sentences, but it still feels like a real story. Now your turn. Think of a small, fun moment with your friend. Start with, one time, my friend and I.
Yes, and don't forget to add how you felt. Words like happy, excited, nervous, scared, surprised. They make your story alive.
Exactly. And now let's talk about another step. Sometimes we want to explain why someone is our friend. It's not just what they do, but how they make us feel. James, can you give an example?
Sure, I can say, "My friend always listens to me when I have problems. I feel safe and happy when I'm with them." It's simple, but very powerful. It tells the listener why this friend is important.
Yes, and here's a little challenge for our listeners. Can you describe your friend in 3 sentences? One about their personality, one about what they do, and one about how they make you feel.
Great idea! Remember, simple English, short sentences, speak slowly, and imagine you are telling a story to a friend, not just listing facts.
Perfect. And this is just the beginning. Today, we will also learn how to talk about fun adventures with friends, mistakes we made together, secrets we shared, and even challenges we faced, all in simple English, step by step.
Yes, and by the end of this podcast, you'll be able to tell your friend stories, describe your best moments, and speak with confidence.
So, let's take a small break and think about this question. What is your favorite memory with your friend? Try to say it in English. Don't worry about mistakes. Just try.
And when we come back, we'll dive into our first real adventure story about friends, a story with surprises, laughter, and maybe a little nervousness. Stay with us. Welcome back, everyone. Now that we have warmed up a little, let's dive into a real story about friends. This story is funny, a little silly, and full of small English phrases you can use. Amelia, are you ready to hear this story?
I'm ready. Oh, I love funny stories. Everyone, listen carefully because you can repeat after us and practice your English.
Okay. One sunny Saturday, my friend Tom and I decided to go to the park. We wanted to play football, but there was a small problem.
Oh, I think I know this story. What happened, James?
Well, we forgot the football at home. Can you imagine 2 adults ready to play football and no ball?
That's very funny. And this is a perfect moment to use English words like oops or oh no in real conversations.
Yes, so we looked around thinking, what can we do now? And then Tom saw a small red ball. It was not a football. It was a child's ball, very small.
That's so funny. Imagine trying to play football with a tiny ball.
Exactly. We tried anyway. We kicked the ball, but it bounced only a little. And every time we tried to score a goal, the ball rolled away. People in the park were laughing at us.
That's so human. And listeners, when you tell this story, you can use simple words like, we laughed a lot, we tried, it rolled away, people watched us, and everyone was surprised. Simple, but it tells a clear story.
Yes, and here's another part. At one moment, the ball bounced into a small pond. We ran fast to get it. My shoes got wet, my socks got wet, and I slipped.
Oh, James, that sounds painful, but also funny. And this is a great moment to use words for feelings. You can say, I was surprised, or I was nervous, or I was embarrassed.
Exactly, Amelia. I was embarrassed, but also laughing, because Tom slipped too, and then we both slipped at the same time. People in the park clapped and laughed.
That's perfect. And listeners, you see how James is using small sentences and simple words, but it still makes a vivid story. You can repeat, I slipped, I was embarrassed, I laughed. Try it slowly.
Yes, and now comes the part about friendship. Even though we were both wet and embarrassed, we laughed together. And I thought, this is why Tom is my friend. We can be silly together, and it's fun.
Yes, that's the key. Talking about friends is not just about describing them, it's about sharing moments, feelings, and experiences.
Absolutely. And here's a small practice for our listeners. Can you tell a short story about a funny moment with your friend? Start with, one time, my friend and I.
Yes, and remember to add how you felt. Words like happy, excited, nervous, embarrassed, or surprised.
Right. And now the story continues. After our little accident, we decided to go to a small cafe near the park. We were wet, messy, but still laughing.
Oh, that's nice. And you can use words like we were tired, we were happy, we were laughing, or we were hungry to describe feelings and situations.
Exactly. And here's another tip. When you tell a story in English, add small details. For example, the cafe was small, with red chairs and a big window. We ordered 2 coffees and a chocolate cake. We sat by the window and laughed about our day.
Yes, and notice how James used small sentences. That's perfect for speaking practice. Repeat after us. We sat by the window. We laughed. We drank coffee. We ate cake.
Perfect. And now the last part of this story. After the cafe, we walked home. Our shoes were still wet, our clothes messy, but we felt happy. I said to Tom, "This was a perfect day. I will remember it forever."
Oh, James, that's beautiful. And listeners, this is an example of a reflection. You can end your story by saying how you felt or what you learned. Words like, I felt happy, I felt grateful, or I learned something are very useful.
Yes, Amelia, and I learned that friendship is not only about fun times, it's also about trust, care, and support. Real friends are there when you need them most.
Absolutely. And that's a great takeaway for your English storytelling. When you talk about friends, don't just talk about fun and games. Share stories that show how your friends help, encourage, and support you. That makes your English stories richer and more interesting.
Exactly. And listeners, now try to write or say one story about your friend helping you. Start with, "One time, my friend and I."
Yes, and remember to add how you felt. Words like,
And that's it for Section 4. Next, we'll talk about friendship challenges and learning together. Moments when friends disagree, solve problems, and grow together. Stay with us. Welcome back, everyone. So far, we've shared funny moments, supportive moments, and adventures with friends. Now let's talk about something a little different. Challenges in friendship. Amelia, are you ready?
Oh, yes, James. Hello, everyone. I'm Amelia. You know, sometimes friends don't always agree. Sometimes we make mistakes or misunderstand each other. And these moments are important too, because they help us learn and grow.
Exactly. Let me share a story. Last year, my friend Tom and I planned to start a small project together. We were excited, but soon we realized we had very different ideas. I wanted one thing and he wanted another.
Oh, that's common. And this is a good moment to use words like disagree, different, problem, confused, or frustrated.
Yes, so at first we argued a little. I said, "I think we should do it my way." And Tom said, "No, I think my idea is better." We were both a little frustrated.
That happens with everyone. And listeners, repeat after us. I think, I don't agree, we have different ideas. Short phrases, very simple English, but they are very useful.
Exactly. But then we took a small break. We went for a walk and talked calmly. I asked, "Tom, can we combine our ideas?" And he said, "Yes, let's try."
Oh, that's perfect. And here's a great lesson. In friendship, challenges happen, but communication is key. You can say, we solved the problem, or we talked and understood each other.
Right. So we combined our ideas and created something even better than we expected. And I realized that challenges can make friendships stronger.
Absolutely. And listeners, notice the words for reflection: realized, learned, stronger. Short, simple words, but they tell your story clearly. Repeat after us. I realized something. I learned something. Our friendship became stronger.
Yes. And now another story from Amelia. Amelia, do you want to share a time when a challenge with a friend taught you something?
Oh, yes. One time, my friend Sarah and I planned a small trip. We disagreed about the destination. I wanted the beach, she wanted the mountains. We argued a little, but then we decided to compromise. We went to a place with both a small lake and a sandy area. It was perfect.
That's wonderful. And notice how Amelia used small phrases: argued, decided, compromise. Perfect. Easy to understand and easy to repeat.
Yes. And you see, listeners, challenges are natural. They happen in every friendship. The key is to listen, understand, and sometimes compromise.
Exactly. And here's a practice for everyone. Think of a time when you disagreed with a friend. Start with, "One time my friend and I disagreed." Then describe what happened and how you solved it. Use short, simple sentences.
Yes. For example, we disagreed about a game. I was upset. My friend listened. We talked. We solved the problem. I felt happy. Repeat slowly, phrase by phrase.
Perfect. And now a little reflection for everyone. Challenges with friends teach us patience, understanding, and respect. They show us that friendship is not just about fun, but also about growing together.
Absolutely. And when you share these stories in English, remember to use small words, short sentences, and describe both actions and feelings. That makes your story real and easy to understand.
Yes, and a final tip for this section, when telling challenge stories, include dialogue, even 1 or 2 lines like, "I don't agree," or "Let's try together," makes your story much more interesting. Welcome back, everyone. We've had so much fun today. Funny moments, adventures, supportive friends, and even challenges. Now it's time for our final section, reflections and takeaways. Amelia, are you ready to wrap up this journey about friendship?
Oh, yes, James. Hello, everyone. I'm Amelia. Today we learned so much about talking about friends in English, and now we'll put it all together, practice storytelling, and reflect on what friendship really means.
Exactly. Let's start with a small reflection. Thinking about all the stories today, the funny cake story, the hiking adventure, the support during nervous moments, and even disagreements, I realize that friendship is a mix of laughter, support, adventures, and learning together.
Absolutely. And listeners, notice the small English words we can use: laughter, support, adventure, learning. Repeat after us. Friendship is laughter. Friendship is support. Friendship is adventure. Friendship is learning. Short sentences, easy to repeat, and very clear.
Perfect. And another important part is feelings. When we talk about friends, we share how they make us feel. Words like happy, grateful, proud, excited, surprised, and even nervous are very useful.
Yes, and a practice tip: when you tell a story about a friend, include at least one feeling. For example, I felt happy when my friend helped me, or I felt excited during our adventure. Repeat slowly.
Exactly. And here's a reflection from me. Today, I realize that sharing stories about friends is not only about practice in English, it's also about remembering the special moments and feelings we shared.
Oh, that's so true, James. And for our listeners, you can try this at home. Think of one friend and tell a short story about them. Describe who they are, a memory you share, and how you felt.
Yes, Amelia. And here's a final practice example. Listen carefully, then repeat slowly. One time, my friend and I went to the park. We played football, but the ball fell in the pond. We laughed a lot. I felt happy. My friend is very funny and kind. I am grateful for my friend.
Perfect. That's a great example of a complete story. Short sentences, simple words, feelings included, and a reflection at the end. That's how you can tell your own stories in English.
Absolutely. And another tip for storytelling, use dialogue, actions, and small details. Words like smiled, laughed, helped, or shouted make your story more alive and real.
Yes, and don't forget to pause sometimes when telling your story. Pauses help your listener understand, and they give you time to think of the next word or phrase.
Perfect. And here's a small challenge for our listeners. Think of your best friend. Tell a story about a funny, adventurous, supportive, or challenging moment. Start with, "One time my friend and I went to the park." Add actions, feelings, dialogue, and end with a reflection. "I am grateful for my friend."
Exactly. And remember, simple English is powerful. Short sentences, easy words, and sharing feelings make your stories clear and interesting.
So, let's summarize today's takeaways. 1. Describe your friend with small, clear words. 2. Share moments or stories. 3. Include feelings. 4. Use dialogue and small actions. 5. Reflect at the end. That's all you need for amazing English storytelling about friends.
Perfect summary, James. And listeners, if you practice these steps, you will feel more confident speaking English. You can tell stories to your friends, family, or even in a class. And you'll also remember all the special moments with your friends.
Absolutely. And finally, thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you had fun and learned a lot. Amelia, any last words?
Yes, James. Hello, everyone. Thank you for listening. Remember, friendship is a treasure. Share your stories, practice English, and most importantly, enjoy every moment with your friends.
Small words, short sentences, and your heart in your stories. That's the magic of English storytelling.
Perfect. And that's it for today's podcast. Keep practicing, keep sharing stories, and we'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye, and happy storytelling with your friends.